Hi there. Today's video is a test with the feather carbon versus the shop bought shop bought activated carbon only. So we're not going to have any manganese dioxide in these cells, and we're also going to do a cell with this stuff as well, both sides. So I have some zinc as well. So we'll try a zinc and a carbon plate with a piece of feather carbon and also a piece of activated carbon. And we'll weigh in our material. I think the activated carbon sheets, which are these ones right here, are slightly heavier. They're points, so that one's 0.7, 0.6, 0.5, hang on, get that on here properly. 0.5, nearly 0.6. So it does not coat very evenly, as you can see. And that one's 0.4. So I'll get rid of the one with the most on it, I reckon, because that's 0.7. And for the feather carbon, that's also pretty lightly spread. That's 0.5, 0.4, 0.6, one's slightly higher, and 0.5. That all came off the same material on the same paper towel, but it's pretty hard with the paintbrush making it sort of consistent. And for a standard piece of paper towel without any membrane or carbon, we're looking at 0.1, so not very much in weight on that. So most of it is carbon and binder. And the borax separators, they weigh about 0.2, 0.2, that's a bit more consistent. Could be size variation a bit too. That one actually seems really good. This time I added a bit more acetone in the mix when I was mixing in the boron. And I put 6 grams of boron and about 5 grams dissolved totally in the solution. So we're testing out a sort of a weaker mix. The other one was sort of way thicker than this. So if this one doesn't work, it has to be sort of thicker, see, in comparison. This was the last one. That's how thick that was applied. Only one side though. This time it's both sides. Sort of dissolved in the acetone and spread out more evenly. I can feel it in there. It feels a bit grainy to the touch. And there was one more thing I was thinking, but I can't remember. So, alright. The first test will be the feather and a activated shop bought carbon without a separator, and then I'll have another test with 2 activated carbons on one side of the membrane each, and the same with the feather carbon. Alright, I'll set the cells up and I'll get back. Okay, the first cell up is the plain activated carbon from the shop, and we're at 0.5 volts. It's one layer. I just have the little pad sitting on, copper pad sitting on the carbon collectors. And for a short circuit uncharged, it's on the 10 milliamp range. We got 10 milliamps probably. So not very high. I'll give it a minute's charge and I'll be back. Okay, coming up to 1 minute. The charger's set on 3 volts. And we're only at 2.5 on there, and it's sort of steady the curve. Alright, disconnecting. We're gonna do a 30 milliamp load test. And the cutoff voltage will be 4.9. Alright, turn off monitor. Starting the test for activated shop bought carbon. 1 layer cell. Alright, I'll be back when this runs out. Okay, plain shop bought activated carbon, 1 layer cell, 1 milliwatt, 1 milliwatt hour and 2-minute run time on 1 minute charge. Yeah, not too bad. I'll give it a 5-minute charge and then we'll run it and then we'll move on to the feather carbon cell. So I'll be back after the 5-minute charge. Okay, slightly just over 5 minutes, nearly 6 on this one, so we'll try 6 minutes next time. And the voltage did go up to nearly 3, I noticed just then. And we're ready for the second test on the shop bought activated carbon 5-minute charge. Okay, I'll be back when this runs out. Okay, I just noticed the cutoff voltage is 0.05 instead of 4.5. Don't know what happened there. Must have been still like that on the last test, so we'll have to let it go. So this is the shop bought single layer carbon 5-minute charge or 6-minute charge. We're at nearly 7 minutes and we got 3 milliwatt hours. And there we go, 3 milliwatt hours on a 6-minute charge. Same cell, so keep that in mind. And we'll move straight on to the feather carbon cell, which has been soaking a little bit longer, but that wouldn't matter. Same amount of electrolyte. I'll be back after the minute's charge for that cell. Okay, feather carbon cell seems to be down on voltage. We're only registering 0.3 volts. It's less conductive than the shop bought stuff though, so we've got to take that into consideration. I doubt it if we get a short circuit. Not reading on the 10 milliamp range, so I'll give it a charge for a minute and I'll get back. Oh, one thing about the feather carbon cell, it's taken 200 milliamps. The other one was only 180. Just of note. Okay, we have our 1 minute's charge. It's still 130 milliamps on the charger, and we're at 2.8 on the data logger. Stop the monitoring. And ready for our first run of the feather carbon. Wow, hey, feather carbon cell, they're made the same. Actually, the feather carbon has less in it, so what's going on here? It's holding its 2 volts. Huh, I wasn't expecting that. Wow, that's different. Alright, I'll get back. The feather carbon cell's still going. 2 minutes on a 1 minute charge. So I think we don't even have to do any more tests because the feather carbon just proved its worth. I can't even believe it myself actually. That's the other end to the charger. It's over here. No milliamps going through the amp meter. That's our voltage there. Our voltage on there. A tiny little cell. We could have discrepancies in those carbon pads, but they're around about the same when you put the multimeter on them. I've just cleaned them all. They're all fresh. Only 2 of the ones with the copper on the back survived. Same electrolyte. Only thing different is less carbon on that by a little bit, probably 50% less because it's 0.3 and 0.4 to 6 on the shop bought activated carbon. I was kind of hoping it was the other way around because this is not conductive so much, but I've noticed as it's in the... we'll go have a look at the ball mill. Okay, the carbon's starting, I'm not sure if you can see in there, but the carbon sticks to everything. Hang on. Okay, the carbon sticks to the glass. It also looks like it's activated by going all fluffy, and it sticks to the balls more than it does any other carbon I've had in the jars. See, it looks wet, but it's not. And it took, so far, 6 hours to get like that. It's only got a handful of balls though, because when you put more in there, nothing happens much. It is pretty fine, but I'll go see if I can get finer. But yeah, it fluffed up and went weird. Yeah. I broke my stator already. And down there. That sucked. So we have finished. We got 3 minutes out of that run and 3 milliwatt hours. That's equivalent to that other cell with a 5-minute charge. So far, thumbs up to the feather carbon. I'll give it a 5-minute charge now and I'll get back. The single layer feather carbon cell, 6-minute charge, or coming up to the 6-minute charge. Doesn't seem to be as stable now. We got some spiking. Alright, at 6 minutes, disconnecting the charge. Stopping the monitor and doing a run, second run, 5-minute, 6-minute charge. Okay, the cell's still functioning. So I'm gonna wonder how it goes on a zinc plate. I think I have to put a membrane on this because the zinc cell doesn't normally, it has the membrane on the zinc plate when you pull them apart. I don't think the zinc likes carbon. That's a good run. We're heating nearly a minute on 2 volts, which is pretty good. I would have thought well, this is equivalent to the manganese dioxide. I scraped all the cells and then sandpapered them down so they shouldn't, and they were dried and washed and left to dry over 2 days. So they're all in that state. And I just randomly picked a pop off one of them off the plate, so yeah. Don't know why it's running this well. Alright, I'll be back. I think we got 3 milliwatt hours out of the activated carbon. We're already nearly there. It's holding its voltage better though. Might try the since it's soaked equivalently to as long as this cell, maybe the extra soaking. They had 5 minutes though, each beforehand. So I'll do the shop bought one again for a minute's charge after this test and we'll see. The second run, the 5-minute or 6-minute charge on the feather carbon single layer cell. Somewhat a strange curve though compared to the activated carbon. Same amount of time, probably a bit over, but way up on the milliwatt hours. The other one for 5-minute charge was 3 milliwatt hours. So the cell's probably okay. I don't need to repeat that. I can do it later. I want to see what happens with the zinc plates and the carbon pad, and then the graphite plate. I'll run no separator and see what happens on the first one. Alright, so that was impressive for the single layer feather carbon. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, back this time with the shop bought activated carbon layer on a zinc plate and a carbon pad. It was the same one I took out of the previous cell we tested, so that should be okay. Our voltage is low, no charge yet though, 0.8. There'll be no milliamps in short circuit, I'd imagine. Not readable on the 10 amp range. So I'll give it a 1 minute's charge and I'll be back. The zinc cell was 400 milliamps on its first bit of charge. We've just started. The Okay, we're just over a minute's charge with the shop bought activated carbon. That's the brand, it's for aquarium. Chem card. Okay, right, disconnecting the charge. This is the zinc plate, the activated carbon layer, and a graphite pad test. The voltage is low. Yeah, we're not even going to run. Yes, data logger seems to be playing up. No, but that's not causing it. Don't like that result, so I'm pretty sure the carbon can't be on the zinc plate in this situation. That's a lot more capacitor-like in its curve. So we're probably not even going to get a milliwatt out of that setup. So we will forego the 5-minute charge, I think, because that will just burn that layer out. We'll do the feather carbon in the same situation for 1 minute as well. Now it seems to hold low end voltage somewhat. I'll get back in a minute. Okay, the cell just ran out. We got 1 milliwatt hour, same as the other one, the first test in the same carbon brand. Alright, I'll set up the next cell. I'll put the feather carbon on top of the zinc plate and a graphite pad. Okay, we have the feather carbon pad on the zinc plate. The feather carbon one, I just pulled it straight out of its cell like I did with that one. But it must hold power because we're at 1.3 volts. And I think we may even have a short circuit on this one, which is weird, unless the zinc plate's got the charge. And we're 120 milliamps. More strange behaviour. I haven't even given it a charge yet. That's weird. Would the paper towel hold the charge? I guess. But we used it up in the last test. Should have. Alright, I'll charge it and I'll be back. Okay, we're just past our 1 minute. Same charge, this is 200 milliamps this time on first charge connection instead of 400 like the other one. Stop the monitoring. Voltage is higher again with this feather carbon. And we'll run. Yeah, extremely higher. That's amazing. I wouldn't expect the same results out of the feather carbon. But look what I see in the feather carbon I've been soaking in liquid. You see that yellow? I reckon that's graphitic carbon nitride from the urea being in there. It's coming out. It's not salt. Unless salt gets dirty with whatever was in the carbon. I'll put about that much salt maybe. Maybe the carbon's turning that stuff to chlorine or something. But it's very weird. It's sort of the same colour as graphitic carbon nitride would be. A yellowy ochre colour. So it looks like feather carbon on zinc plate is looking good too. Where its counterpart must have been too conductive or something. It was just shorting out. There's even a massive amount of electrolyte over both bits of the thing there, which probably wouldn't be helping. I'll get back. Okay, back with the feather carbon on the zinc plate. None of them on the zinc plate look good anyway. 3 milliwatt hours and 5 minutes on that 1 minute charge. That's still better than the other one. So what we'll do now, we're going to turn to the membrane separators and we'll repeat the test. This time we'll have 2 pieces of carbon of the same type on both plates, but that's on the graphite plate. So I'll set up the activated carbon from the shop first. Okay, our first test cell with the boron separator has a shot bore activated carbon on one side, boron separator, and shot bore activated carbon on the other side. So it's a double layer separated between the membrane. We're at 0.4 volts without a charge, and for a short circuit 10 milliamps say, and dropped. Alright, so I'll give it 1 minute's charge and I'll get back. Okay, we're at 1 minute for the shot bore 2-layer separated with the boron separator cell. Disconnecting the charge. Okay, we got a higher voltage now and running cell. Still, the shot bore one's still dropping in voltage quicker. But I think their run times now will be slightly up perhaps. I'll get back when this is done. Oh, one thing, the zinc plate after those little 2 1-minute charges, it's pretty stained. Except for the ridges from the paper towel, you can see all the hollows they would be. So that's interesting as well. Alright, I'll get back. Okay, we just ended the double layer shot bore activated carbon cell separated with boron separator. 1 minute charge yielded 2 milliwatt hours and a 5-minute run time. So I'll charge it up now for the 5-minute to 6-minute charge and we'll test that's performance. It's up compared to a single layer with no separator, so that's looking good. Alright, I'll be back. Okay, we're at 6 minutes for the double layer shot bore carbon run. Activating now. So the voltage is up with this extra stack of carbon in it. So it's 2 layers of carbon separated with a membrane, boron membrane. The membrane's pretty much the standard one we use, but it's just got boron, 6 grams of boron added to this mix, which somewhat dissolves. Alright, we'll see if this one yields double its result from the single layer. It's looking good so far. Alright, I'll be back. The double layers seem to be improving. 6 milliwatt hours already. It's down to 0.8 volts though, but 9-minute runtime on a 6-minute charge. It's looking good. That's the shot bore carbon. I'll be back. Okay, the double layer separated with boron separator, shot bore activated carbon. 6-minute test is over. 15 minutes it ran for and 8 milliwatt hours. So that's up on a single layer by heaps. And now we'll do the feather carbon double layer separated with the boron separator as well for a test. I'll give it a 1-minute charge and I'll get back. Okay, we have the double layer feather carbon separated with a boron separator. It's 0.5 volts without a charge and 20 milliamps. So I think it's up. That one, the other one, shot bore one was 10 I think without a charge. Going by memory, so I'll charge this one up and I'll get back. Okay, we're at the 1 minute for the double layer feather carbon cell with the boron separator. The curve's much smoother with the separator in the cells. Alright, disconnecting the charge, stop monitoring, and 1 minute run, cell run test. Okay, it's holding its voltage well. I think the other one, oh, what was it, 3 milliwatt hours I think, or a bit more. I'll check the video. So again, it looks like it's performing well. We're not going to get a minute though, above 2. Alright, I'll get back. At the end of the 1 minute charge, run time after the 1 minute charge for the feather carbon double layer. They're somewhat at the same time, but this one's slightly up. The other one was 2 milliwatt hours, could have clicked over, but it didn't. And this one's a 3 milliwatt hour for the 1 minute run. So I'll give it its 5 minute charge and we'll see how that one compares. Blew this time big time, it's 11 minutes. Yeah, well, forgot about it. I thought it was on a run cycle actually. Getting late. It's 5 o'clock. Alright, starting a test for the double layer of feather carbon. Bit biased now, it's had way more charge. It's holding good voltage. Oh, it was. Okay, this one's probably going to run a lot longer because of the duration. I'll be back. So the overcharge might have wrecked that one because it's only 7 milliwatt hours for the double feather carbon. It's bounced back to 1.4 though, and it ran for 10 minutes. I'll give it another charge at 6 minutes and see what happens. Okay, the cell's had its correct charge now, 6 minutes. It's the double feather carbon separated with the boron separator. And I'll disconnect the charge. Okay, ready for our run. Alright, I'll get back when this is done. The 6 minute run on the feather carbon, I think it's down for some reason on the double layering. I'll repeat that one again tomorrow because it's only 6 milliwatt. The other one was, the double activated carbon was 8 milliwatt hours with the same time charge. But the feather carbon one was very impressive on the 1 minute charge. So yeah, strange. Alright, I'll conduct the experiment tomorrow because I also want to make a cell out of that stuff. Okay, till tomorrow. Okay, I removed a separator out of the double feather carbon cell and this is a 6 minute charge. So stopping monitoring and we'll do a test. Wondering if it's the separator which is doing it. Don't mind that, that's the data logger going crazy. Alright, I'll be back, that thing's making a lot of noise. Okay, the feather carbon one, 2 minutes and 2 volts. It's looking alright. So the separator was interfering with it for some reason. I think because there's a lack of material on the feather carbon sheets. Maybe. Not really sure. Some parts of it are stuck on there. Let's see if you can see it shine. These little specks there, the carbon, which is stuck to it after that couple of charges. I think that maybe, or the 11 minute charge might have wrecked it. See those dark specks? Bits of carbon are stuck. Maybe they're shorting through it. No, but then this wouldn't be working. But it might not be working that good as well. Alright, I'll get back in a minute. Okay, the double feather carbon with the separator removed, still somewhat down, 6 milliwatt hours, 9 minute run time. I think the activated carbon runs it better in this form, so maybe double feather carbon's not so great. And for the lucky last cell, I'm going to try that flaky stuff. I have that cell there, and the other part of it will be that piece there. If you can just see it, so not a lot of material. I'll have a separator, and I'll give it a 6-minute charge, and I'll give it 1 minute first, and then I'll keep it consistent, and then I'll get back. Okay, slightly over. I was washing my hands. I can handle the phone. Yeah, so we're all right on the voltage so far. It's about 1:37. Alright, starting 30 milliamp test on the flaky material. Well, that seems to be okay for not a lot of material. It's got a boron separator between the material, but there's not a lot on there, and not a lot of electrolyte. I'll just squirt some in there, I reckon. Oh, alright, I won't touch it. I'll be back when this runs out. Okay, the flaky sort of carbon cell, whatever that material is 3 milliwatt, 4-minute run on a 1-minute charge. So that's still higher than the activated carbon from the shop. I'll give it its 5 to 6 minute charge, and we'll see how that one goes. It's just a little bit over time, 7 minutes accidentally. Stopping the monitor. Alright, ready for our test, our final test for this video. Okay, looking good so far for what it's made out of. So the cell's got a mixture of the shiny stuff and some of the non-so shiny stuff. Wonder if it's crushed up it works as good. So I tried not to put it on top of each other, but some of it overlaps, but it wasn't a complete service cover, but it's not too bad. Very thin and brittle it is. With the 2 clamps on it, it sort of crunched. So it would have flattened itself out and pushed itself into the membrane a bit too. Alright, I'll get back. Okay, so the flaky cell's finished its run. 10 minutes, 7 milliwatt hours. So that's not too bad for the little flaky. That's on par with the activated carbon from the shop. And the feather carbon on the paper towel 2-cell version somewhat didn't function as well or something. Yeah, so they're quite interesting results. I'm going to keep playing with the cells tomorrow, and if anything interesting pops up, I'll post a video. Alright, thanks for watching.